Hello everyone, Pure Station here. Welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be discussing the OCG metagame breakdown for the 23rd through the 28th of February, which is practically March. They did have an updated one for the new metagame coming out for this format. It was 152 players. That's not enough for me to break it down. This one, however, was a YCS, so I will break this down. Or it was your championship, whatever you want to call it. It was a YCS. Okay, so as you can see, you got your Fire King, Snake Eye. This is not pure Fire King. This is Snake Eye. It is the top represented deck at 21.4%, and the second most represented deck in the OCG currently is Tenpai Dragon at 17.1%, and below them is Snake Eye. So these are what the representations are. So Voiceless and Tenpai versus Snake Eye, they have really good grinds. Ritual Beasts are doing okay. Branded's still there. And then all the rest is everything else. So Centurion, Lab, Runic, Salmon, something great. Rescue Ace, which doesn't do really good. Branded, 5 branded with grass, and only 4 branded non. So not very good. Also, they got Dragon Link, which they call it Chaos Thunder Dragon, like whatever. 2 Yubel, one Unchained, 1 normal. And again, you kind of see what's going on here. And for some reason, Tier is still here. I don't know what's up with OCG and Tier. And somewhere on here, I'm not really seeing them, but they should have a Valence list. Maybe not. Maybe they didn't have a Valence at this list, or maybe it just top. Maybe it's just in top. I don't know. But you can see what the top represented decks are, and you can kind of see where the game's kind of going. With this list, you kind of can't really see, but we'll go to the next list to where it's a month later, and I'll show you the representations of how things change. So if I go here, which you can do the Tenpai and you can learn this combo. I already know everything there is about Tenpai, so. And here's a more updated list. So this is the 1st through the 3rd, and we don't have anything else after this. Plus OCG just got a ban list today. It should have been made. Konami shouldn't have been made a fucking list because it was horrible. But onward. Your 2 top represented decks are Snake Eye and Fire King. Tenpai is right behind it at 17. So theoretically, Snake Eyes is going to be a thing of the past, and Tenpai is going to be the focus going forward. If Ash gets limited in TCG, Tenpai will be the best deck, hands down. It'll be Tenpai, then Voiceless Voice, and then Snake Eye will be right behind there somewhere. But these decks are all very strong and powerful, and there's a lot going on here. Which, I mean, change the music here, but I think things are kind of crazy that the meta, we're hitting such power creep so fast that there's not really much that you can do personally, unless if you're looking for a specific deck to play. For me, Tenpai Dragons kind of just sticks out to me. It's like this deck's got a really crazy field spell, OTKs really easily. Even with Gimmick Puppets coming out later with their broken field spell, this deck still runs it over, and that's huge. Now when you say, well, you can't OTK, that's technically true because their field spell will keep things from being destroyed. But however, this deck will stop it because of how the deck is built and how it's concised. the dragon right here on the front, which is the level 7, it has a built-in effect that if you special summon it, you can target a spell and trap your opponent controls and destroy it. So with Gimmick Puppets, you can out the field spell and OTK them, which is kind of cool. So yeah, Tenpai pretty good, not gonna lie. So Tenpai Dragon is like is probably the best deck coming out. We can all agree. I've even started here. I'll pull out my binder and I'll show you my little gear here. I've already started preparing for Tenpai. Yeah, Shifter, Droplet, Ruddy Rose, Guru, the whole works. Because I want to play that deck. Because I think that deck is the best deck going forward. Yeah, it can be beat, but I'm kind of fixing it to where it doesn't really have any hard counters. The biggest counter I've seen to Tenpai so far is Yubel. It's really the only deck because it's a mirror, and if I can't blank out the effects, I just lose because I can't get through them. But if I'm able to out them and they can't put anything back on board, I win 100%. That's really the only deck that gives me any trouble. Snake Eyes don't give me any trouble because Raigeki's not once per turn, and also I got Lightning Storm and Thrust that I can play. I will out you. It will not take me very long. So I have that going for me as well. So with this, we don't have Mathmech, so and honestly, you want an honest take from me, Circular needs to come back at 1 or 3. I don't see a problem with Mathmech. I don't think that deck deserved to be hit, really. If you want to hit a card, hit like Super Fractorial or Laplacian, like one of those cards, like, or hit Diameter, the card that puts the Omni on, like one of those cards. Not the card that makes the deck work. Like that doesn't make much sense at all.
Every time you feed more pet hills, you help feed a shelter pet.
Yeah, it'll go off here in a second.
Happy
I guess I'll listen to it. So I've started to play like little background music
so they can change yours.
to kind of make things a little bit better for y'all. And looky there. That's what I like to see. Really. So this is gonna start happening. Now we don't have grass, thank God, but Snake Eye, Sinful Spoils, Infinite. This deck was created by, don't quote me on this, but I believe Joseph Gold. I believe he's from Lexington, I believe. It's sort of an FTK build, I believe. I believe he's the guy that made it. Don't quote me on that, but so yeah, all the rest of this is pretty easy. I've not seen this deck really do anything, honestly. So I think the Dragonities are kind of cool, but I just don't see any spice there. And when I look at this, like, this list had 152 players. You know this because it tells you up here. Well, it says the top 152 from 20 tournaments. So I'm changing that song. I don't like that shit. Anyway, again, it says, like, you read the top of it up here. It says this report tabulates 152 top performing decks from 20 tournaments that were held in Japan, China mainland, South Korea, and Vietnam during March 1st through the 3rd, March 2024. And it tells you about their Battle City shit. Like, who cares? Okay, so I don't like that because that's not actually giving you good information, because this is not a YCS, like I literally just said. And that's why I don't like this, is because without it being like a YCS or a main event, there's no point of even talking about this. because this event is irrelevant. You're seeing high numbers and you go, wow, these decks really performed well. It's like, these are the most popular decks, hands down. 152 top performing decks, so it's 152 players. This is the representation. Not really showing much. That's the problem. Now, let's go back to the beginning of February. Here we are. Okay. So, well, it's about the mid of February. So, your two most performing decks, and it's been like this the whole time, except for that last meta guide, is the Fire King Sinful, which is the best version. It's better than Snake Eyes. It just has a harder time playing under Droll. And Tenpai. Tenpai is, like I said, if Snake Eye gets any hit, Tenpai is the best deck, and hands down. But as you can see in this one, you're seeing what could be diversity. So you got Rescue Ace, Jubel, Melodious, Flu, Chimera, and Centurion. Okay. So that's nice to see. Again, your four best decks is Fire King, Tenpai, Snake Eyes, Voiceless Voice. To me, Fire King and Snake Eye are the same deck. So when you look at this and you go, okay, well, who's winning the event? I've seen, I believe, okay, so this one was Fire King, but this guy went 6-1 in top 48, and this is the Tenpai Dragon that got, fuck, I forgot what he went, 5-2, finished second. It only had 32. See, again, that's the problem I have with these lists, is 8-0, finished first, out of 48. Okay. I mean, God, dude. I really don't know where to begin with this shit, and I don't know what the hell's going on here. Get out of here. Because most things we do TCG wise, typically, we start in the OCG. Well, what's the OCG doing? 8-0, 48 participants, and this is a team event, so there's 48 participants. Okay. This guy went 8-0. So, again, we don't have a good representation from the OCG. You look at it and you go, oh, this deck, that's got high representation. It's like, they're not really playing anybody. And that's the problem. Is in tier 0 formats, this is the problem. Is you don't really see what's going on. And OCG and TCG are way different because, one, they have max C. Two, we have one call by. Number 3, we have crossed out of 3. You know, these are notable differences. And unfortunately, here we are. So, I'm soon gonna go over. We're 14 minutes, that's fine. Okay, so that's gonna be down for a minute. I'm gonna try to pull up YG Omega here in a second. If it'll come up. It's at like 47. It's 47%. When it gets pulled up, I'll show you a basic list for it of what I was gonna run, which doesn't really matter. But I will show you what needs hit to kill consistency. Which, with the new Diabella Star, it doesn't really matter. Let's see here. It'd probably take a while to get up anyway. Okay, so you got that. This is the voice list that they're playing. But it looks like they're only playing one of the new card. Which, I mean, it's fine, I guess. Like, it's not like overwhelmingly impressive. And for the new ritual monster, you think it would be getting played, but apparently it's not. I don't know. I really don't know the problem with it. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I guess they don't play the new ritual. I don't get it. It's like, well, conclusion here. I mean, which this is one of the weirdest lists I've seen. We don't have Colors of Colosseum, so we're not doing that. But this deck is kind of scary, and the ability to hit the set rotation to give your opponent that other field spell, kind of fucked. Now, I'm not against the set rotation, because I could in Tenpai I could run like Secret Village of Spellcasters and just flip it. If you draw it, it's like whatever, you just pitch it off the field spell, but again, it really wouldn't matter. See, they are playing five, 17 hand traps. 17. And the Fire King is playing 6, 9, 12 hand traps. Okay. Let's... 1 Garunix, 3 Kirin, 1 Ponix, 1 Arvada, which is normal package. 1 Black Witch, 1 Flamberge, 3 Ash, 2 Poplar, 3 Ash, 3 Maxi, 3 Effect Failure. Double Island, 1 Sanctuary, 1 Skyburn, triple wanted, 1 original, 3 Bonfire. Yeah, it's just a lot of shit going on. But again, like I said, we're in different metas. You can even look at the side decks, and they look completely different. Or the extra deck, I'm sorry. And then side decks like this shit. Like, if we got back Heavy Storm, that'd be, like, awesome. But they just got Change of Heart back to 3, which is kind of wild, but... So, let's look at this. Okay. So, your 9 through 16 is gonna have the first Tenpai Dragon. I don't know how the hell this happened, but apparently that happened. How many players? First place Snake Eye. Okay, yeah. Just normal shit. I'm not sure how that happened. Now there we go. There's an event that'll show you some shit. Which they probably didn't have them all on here. So there's a lot of Tenpai dragons on here, and there's a lot of Voiceless Forest and Snake Eye. So, but the deck that did win was Snake Eye, and this is day 2 with 3 more rounds of Swiss. And you have a Tenpai dragon up here, so that's good to see. Also, it's good to see that there's more here. There's one down here. There's Salad. I don't know why that's there, but there's more. But also a thing to note that if you're going to play a deck like Tenpai, is we're still in the early stages. So we haven't got any new support. We haven't heard a wave of support coming through. But if you're focusing on playing that deck coming up, fully invest, because the deck is really good. There's a bunch of lines you can take. There are some game states which are almost unwinnable, but if you're smart enough, you can navigate your way through it. Especially like going first. So, of course, I was looking at Centurion. So, cards we're going to talk about before we go any further. I know I'm typing like an old man. Thirst? What the hell? Russ. I know I'm talking like an old man. I have a microphone right here. It's like right over top of my keyboard. So as you can see, the prices of Thrust have went down. You can't see it because my W icon is kind of like blocking it, but whatever. If you're gonna buy Thrust, now's the time. Now's when you need it. Which I will be ordering these sometime soon. Not this week, but sometime soon. Because it's a card that you're gonna need. Okay, you see this stuff, don't pay attention to it. It's not important. It's nothing that you're gonna need. As you can see, my recent searches of what I've been looking for, which is, it is what it is. But another card you'll need, which I just got one the other day, and it's one of the ones I showed you that I ended up did having, is the Odd Eyes Meteor Burst. You're gonna need one of these. Your Alto, and there were some OCG lists playing this card, but I'm going to be playing this card because it's like one of the best cards to play in it, and it can help you shoot out something like your tuner from the extra deck. That'll help you get into your FTK or OTK line, or something like Black Rose Dragon to blow up the board, swinging for some damage that way, which you can do stuff like that. Or you can even bring out Meteor Burst or whatever you're looking for. Meteor Burst is basically ideal with this card, because if you're like, I can't really shut down battle effects in battle phase, you go to this card to get to that, and then it can shoot out another card, because it shoots out level 7 or 8 dragons. So then you can shoot out a card like Crystal Wing, which will take care of most of your problems. So really good card to do that with. If you play, oh, I forget what it's called. It's something heavenly. It's like Heraldic Heavenly Spheres. Yeah, Heraldic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. So this card, you're gonna need one of these. They're all cheap as hell. So very important for all these. Another card that you're probably gonna need is Pot of Prosperity. That's the lowest I've seen Pot of Prosperity hit in a long time. That's a Starlight though. You know, we're talking QCR is 40. Blazing Vortex 11, which I have 2 of these. I don't really care. The one I want is Prismatic Ultimate Rare down there in the bottom right here, which is $7. I like those. I don't really care for QCR, and I'm not getting Starlights. Now, if I had like just loads and loads of money to drop on Starlight Pot of Prosperity, you know I would. But I don't, and I'm not gonna act like I do either. So those are basically cards you're gonna need. You need Terraforming. Big one that if you can get them, they're great. You're gonna need through Raigeki, which you're gonna want to shoot down here somewhere. They have secret rares for like $5 a piece. They're pretty good. And if your budget, you know, you can go for the super rares or whatever. The deck, besides the deck itself, it's not super expensive unless if you're counting like Thrust and all these other cards. Now, as you can see, Starlight Lightning Storms, like if you pick up 1 a week, actually really good. You can get Starlight Lightning Storms cheap. They're not that expensive. Nobody's been focusing on these. Or the Collector's Rare from this set. Or the Ultra Pharaoh's Rare. Like, people just, like, I guess forgot about cards and card prices, but I didn't. So, these are just a few ideas that you can use going forward. Depending on what deck and what strategy you decide that you're gonna try to play. So, you know, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, cut off the video here. I know I didn't get to talk about it much, but please do make sure that if you're on the video that you do like, subscribe, and comment down below. I really appreciate it. I will be doing uploads a lot more now that I got a new webcam, and that way I can record more videos, be more fluent, and, you know, everything be professional as possible. Also, make sure if you're looking for a good energy drink that you go to W Energy and check them out. They got merch, they got shakers, they got good product, and they have a lot of good product too. So they have over 10 different flavors, and they're good as hell. We're supposed to be getting those in, I believe, 2 weeks from now, so hopefully we get them in. They have hoodies, hats, duffel bag if you go to the gym, or if you just like you need a duffel bag for carrying stuff or whatnot. You know, you're constantly traveling for work, whatever. Make sure you hit up W and use code PierceNation47 to get 10% off at checkout. Now, without further ado, I'm Pierce Nation, and we will see you in the next video. Pierce Nation, out.